Skull and Bones has a huge amount of action and adventure, but if you're feeling like it's a job, you're doing it wrong. Let me show you how to stop playing Uber Eats Pirate Edition and start roaming the seas like a pirate king and enjoy your time doing it. I'm Caveman. I'm going to share some strategies backed by data and input from players at the top of the leaderboard. Assuming you only have about an hour of play a day, I will show how you can just spend half of that to unlock everything in the Helm within a month and a half. To start off, you should have the Helm open and you've begun building your empire, or you're at stage 1 as described in this video. And if you haven't watched that, if you got the time, definitely give that a watch through. It does go over some of the high level strategies we'll be implementing here, even though it is more directed for leaderboard maximization and players who have hundreds of hours of play. To accomplish this task, you need to accumulate roughly 70,000 pieces of 8. That's just to buy the special items. More if you want all the cosmetics in the Helm shop. I've broken it down a rough day by day of where you should be at in pieces of 8 production, so you can try and monitor this as you're going on to make sure you get everything before the end of this season. Now, if you're ahead or if you have less time or days, you can scale your expectations accordingly. The intent is to only spend half an hour of your day grinding the endgame and the other half plundering, hunting, or playing in PvP battles. So let's get into it. I'm going to be going over this spreadsheet here. You can find a link in the description below. Feel free to download that. And if you find it useful or if you find this video useful, please smash that like button, subscribe, and help our channel grow so that we can continue to help pirates like you in our journey becoming a pirate king. So let's go and look at this spreadsheet here. We've got our pieces of 8 goals. All right, so this is the important part. We're looking for 70,000 pieces of 8. We need that liquid so we can buy the sambuk schematic, all the blueprints for weapons and furniture, and then buy both of the epic furniture for 2,800 that are standalone. It's a daunting number. I remember when I first did my lap around the Red Isle trying to collect, I'm like, wow, this is going to take forever. I got like maybe 1,000 pieces of 8 and it was a long sail. Yeah, don't worry, you're gonna be able to do it quick and it's not gonna take a lot of effort to get this 70,000. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. But we will need 29,000 set aside for the Smuggler operations book. That you don't necessarily need to do all of that. Discuss more later also, but that'll get you to page 22 roughly, and you'll be looking pretty good there. We're going to be going for 5 cities to level 9. You shouldn't be upgrading anything else other than those 5 cities. And then that will cost about 56,000 to get there. And then we will be opening up the Africa or Indies. That costs 5,000 pieces of 8, leading to a total of 160,000 pieces of 8. So how do we get there and how did I come to my conclusion? Well, first I actually opened up Kusini. This was just a city I had sitting around and I literally just leveled it up from level 2 all the way to level 10 and recorded all of its information just so I could kind of figure out how can we actually scale pieces of 8 per day. And so here's my little itinerary for you as you're growing through your days. You can start seeing where you need to be growing, what you need to spend your pieces of 8 on to actually get to the end. And so Kusini is a mid-tier city in Africa. We can actually look at the output. And for anyone who's watching my last video and was asking for this, I did just copy that image and I threw it in here. I didn't want to type it all out, but this is a really cool sheet that we found on the Discord. I think that the original poster took it down, but for anyone who needs this, it actually has all the cities in each region. So yeah, Africa, Indies, and Red Isles. They list out the town name, what their level is, and then their gold per hour. And so you can see Harufu is the best city in the game, and then you got the Sunny Capital and Sangdad at 2 and 3. So it's kind of split there, and when you're deciding what to open, we'll talk about that in a little bit, but it's important to make sure that these are the 3 cities that you're kind of focusing on. So going back to the Empire, so as I was opening up Kusini, you can go through like all the different stats of like as it levels up, when is it got the best increase, like in capacity. That was level 8 to level 9. You get a huge increase. That's from 3,000 to 4,500 for the capacity. So that's super useful in making a storage house so that you can just do one run, pick it all up, and then move forward. But yeah, anyways, we're gonna skip on that. That's just so if you want to look at that. That is just a mid-tier city, so results could vary. And I do have a variety of upgrades. I don't even think everything is maxed out quite yet, but there you go. In general, I think that if you're If you got some free time, you shouldn't be collecting pieces of 8 from any city that is level 5 or below. 150 pieces of 8 for the time that you're spent actually going to pick that up, it just isn't worth it. Once it's level 6 to level 8, it can be useful if it's topped off, and maybe you got a couple other cities along the way they're also topped off. Maybe that can be useful. And then obviously level 9, level 10, that's when you pick it up. So let's go and start jumping into it. All right, and so the first 11 days, they're a grind, and you're feeling like you're not really getting anywhere, okay? So the first, and maybe not the first task, but a task you always need to do is hit up your roving supply contracts. If we go into game, you go to your supply network like you've been taught in the tutorial, and you're going to grab the supply deal roving missions. Those are the ones you need. There's gonna be 4 of them. You grab all 4 of them, and I've already grabbed them, and then you're going to fast travel to Isle Mitchell, fast travel there, and you're going to sail out and you're going to destroy one of these merchant ships. And when you destroy it, it'll immediately give you it'll complete all of your contracts, giving you that Helm material, and it'll actually double it based on whatever your supply is at the moment. You'll probably become overburdened depending on what ship you're using. You just sail back, and then you can offload that Helm material, come back to your Helm office, and then you'll be able to refine that into what it needs to be. It's probably just going to be rum and gin if that's where you are, but mostly just probably going to be rum. Then you're going to go to your order registry, and this is really for the first 11 days. Let's just double check. I think it's for the first 11 days. What you're going to be doing is that roving supply contract should only take 5 minutes to go over there, fast travel, destroy that ship, come back, get the refining process going, and then you're going to do an order delivery. Just whatever, try to do all 4 contracts at once, sail out there, drop it off. And that'll give you 250 per day, roughly. I think it's like 30 for the, when you start off, it's like 30 pieces of 8 per contract, and then you get 50 for the 2 roving. So that's what you're looking at roughly. And then you can do 10 minutes of just short trips picking up from one of the very close cities. So if we go to, you're going to be, right here at St. Anne, just go to here, back, here, back, here, back. Like maybe just keep it around those 3. Don't waste a whole bunch of time sailing and collecting. It's just not worth your time, and you're not going to grow much faster. Feel free to do it though if you have extra time, but otherwise, in that hour of time, you can go, I need to find my tab, there we go. The next 30 minutes, go do what you want to do. Go do something interesting or do hostile takeovers. Those are personally my favorite thing to do. I'm actually sad that I can't do them anymore. I kind of wish I would have left one city empty and then I could just go in and battle, because those were actually really fun for me in the late game. But yeah, that's all you have to do for that first hour. And so that's going to be 11 days. Like, you can burn yourself out going and collecting at half full cities that they're carrying maybe 25 pieces of 8. It's a waste of time. Don't do it. You'll feel like you get burned out pretty quick when it really matters later on. So then for the first 11 days, you're going to be upgrading your smuggler operations to page 7. This is really, really key because you need to do that until page 7 for the Gold Skull Gin. And Gold Skull Gin is really important because that's what's going to fund your empire. You're able to refine your regular White Skull Gin into Gold Skull, and then you can sell it to Skurlock for 250 per rum. And it's a good amount of money. It's how you have unlimited cash, and you'll be good to go moving from there. So that's the first step. Do that. You'll still only be making 270 a day, most likely, unless you're doing extra. But now you can start pumping all of your coins into upgrading your first level city, which is going to be Tanjona. So if we look at our game again, we go to map. This is a city on the far side of the Red Isles. It's right here. This is a good city. I obviously didn't do this because when I was playing through, I messed up. But this is the city that I would focus all your time and money on, because if we go back to the spreadsheet, you'll find that the Tanjona is the best in the Red Isles, and its significance is pretty big. It's 276 at level 10 compared to some cities which are only 88. So that's a huge, huge thing. What I would do is I'd level up Tanjona. If we go back to our supply route page, what you're going to do is level up Tanjona, and then you're going to do a route here. You're going to teleport down here, pick up from Tanjona, and you can go back. And that'll be your other 10-minute run per day on this. So you do a 10-minute run picking up from Tanjona. You're going to do your roving contracts as normal. Make sure that you're refining it into Gold Skull Rum, and you're also going to be doing your order deliveries. So that's going to be your like 25 to 30 minutes that you're going to do. Just make sure that you do all 3 of those within 1 day, and then you can go off and do your 30 minutes, whatever you want to do. And you're going to start scaling up pretty quick as long as you're pumping all that money back into Tanjona, get it to level 9, and then you're going to be making 3,000 a day. And it starts to feel pretty good at 3,000. You spend 2 days on that, and then you'll be able to unlock the second region. Now, in the last video, there was a lot of comments about which region should you unlock first, and so a lot of people were saying Coast of Africa because Harufu is the highest producer. There's so many trade routes going to it, and they thought that was better. And then I was saying Coast of Indies because I think Sunny Capital, Sangdad, in this route was just easier and simpler to just do and grind it out. Well, if we go to like the output again, so you got Harufu and then you got Jaiwei, which I'm probably pronouncing wrong, but those two combined, what is that, like 870, 880 per hour. So that's what they're able to output. But then you go to Sunny Capital, Singdad, they're doing it 466, 458, that's 910, 920. So this output more. And then the distance, I think, is just about the same. You got to think of the additional distance from Africa to here, because then you can pick up the rest along this path, and the distance from the Sunny Capital, all the way to Look it's a little bit longer, but either way, they're right about the same. They have about the same exact production. One point that actually goes to the coast of Africa is there's not as many cities to take over, so you'll actually be able to get to Harufu faster than you would in getting these 4. So that is one benefit that I'll give Coast of Africa. So Coast of Africa might be the better option in this case, but really it's up to you, because what you're going to be investing in is getting this city up to date, which is sorry, I forget the name, Shijavu. That's the next city you're gonna get to level 9, because your next route once this is level 9 is gonna be popping here, grab, and then go follow through this route. And then that'll be your typical go. But let's stick to the days. So you're on day 27. You've been spending a month, and really all you've done is unlock the second region. It doesn't feel great. You have 1 city to level 9. But you're still going to be doing those roving contracts and selling that Gold Skull Rum to Skurlock. You're going to still be doing your order contracts because it's a short climb, and you'll be able to get that. And then you'll be doing your trip from Tanjona and the path along it. And that'll be, you'll slowly gain a little bit more because you're opening up Shijavu. Maybe you jump there, collect, and then go through that whole pathing. Eventually it will be level 9 also, and you'll be good to go. Just remember to enjoy your 30 minutes in that hour session. After you have that leveled up, you're going to be pumping in 6,000 a day, because both those cities are level 9. They accumulate 3,000 overnight, so you're going to start to feel pretty good with 6,000. Now, you still need to do your roving missions, get the mats, get the silver, but now you're just going to be doing one big run or not necessarily big run, but the run from here, picking up all that, bring it back, and that'll be your daily just grind there. And now you're going to be upgrading whatever that new city is, either Harufu or the Sunny Capital, whichever one you decided to unlock first, and that you've got in your hostile takeover. So you're going to do that, and then you're going to start pumping that up. Get that capital city up, and then that starts feeling really good. And then once you get that city done, you're gonna have 3 level 9 cities. You're gonna be pumping out about 9K per day, but you're gonna start to feel the silver impact here, and so that's where you're gonna start needing to really upgrade your smuggler operations. So the rest of these 3 days are gonna be spent just getting it up to level 22. Obviously, you can scale that how you need to, but the purpose of that is really just to get those upgrade pages that boost the supply, boost the refinement, so that you're really starting to get around. I mean, I have over 1 million silver, and I have like 3,000 Gold Skull Rum on standby that I can start pumping in. And yeah, it's definitely the best way to make silver in the game, I think. So that's what you should be focusing on once you start feeling that silver crunch. Just focus on getting those pages up. So once that's done, you're going to focus on your 4th city. So we go back to our supply routes. It'll be either Jawei in Africa or Sangdad, and that'll be your 4th city that you're going to get to level 9, and then just keep doing those routes on a daily basis, except now from Africa, you're going to be going all the way from the top all the way through, and that'll just be one route. And then if you're doing the Indies, you're going to do one route here and one route here. And I think that's like maybe 25 minutes, so it's a little bit more. And then you're doing your roving mission. So either way, it should be about 30 minutes per day. You should be good to go. And you just keep doing that. You upgrade a 5th city, and then you should be pulling in 15,000 pieces of 8 per day. And then you just do that for 5 days, 5-6 days. You'll have enough to start buying all of your helmet. And so that's really all it is. It's more of a passive game. You have to change your mindset on how you're looking at the game. Now, there is one way faster way to do this, and that is to have friends. If you have a community, a guild, in the comments, they were telling me of crazy ways that guilds have locked down servers. They just keep inviting and then break their group, invite from those 3 friends, and they'll take over a whole server. So you can do Helm wagers uncontested. And that's really what you got to do. And so I also linked the Discord, the Skull and Bow Discord below. Feel free to join them. There's voice chat groups and stuff you can go to that'll help you get everything set up. And you can find people that are just either taking over whole servers or just find a 3-man crew. I mean, that's all you really need. And then if it's a 3v3, hey, you have a chance to win, and those other 3 people are not probably on a team, so you have a higher chance of winning. Or you get 6 people, and then right as you're about to launch your Helm wager, just everyone click at the same time, boom, you're locked in, no competition. Or maybe there's one person, you just get to mess with them. That's really what it comes down to. But, you know, relieves any stress, like, oh, I'm not going to be able to finish this before the end of the season. You can do it, and it only takes 30 minutes per day. And obviously, if you spend more time on it, you'll be able to get there faster. Just don't spend your time sailing all across the whole continent trying to collect everything. That is where you waste time. I know I did it. I feel like I spent maybe like 30 hours just collecting everything, and then I do a Helm wager, and I lost the Helm wagers twice. It was brutal. But that's everything. Once again, if you like this video, smash the like button, subscribe for more content. I'll see you guys next time. Caveman logging off.